Hi, I'm AJ Hamilton here with Red Carpet Report. We're at the Paley Center in Beverly Hills talking with the people who make Maron on IFC.
Hey, buddy.
Hello, sir.
How are you, man?
Good, how are you?
Hey, that's the guy that helped me with the car. Thanks, buddy. Good job.
We're with Red Carpet Report online.
Okay.
We've both seen your show, all 7 episodes so far.
Oh, good.
And they're fantastic.
You're liking it? Good.
Absolutely. Been a long-time fan of your podcast. It's amazing to see the podcast and the moments that you have in there. Some of the really heartfelt stuff, some catharsis that you have in the podcast come through on the the show. I mean, has that been difficult for you? I mean, you feel in the podcast the immediacy of those moments. Is it interesting to see those play out in the...
Well, yeah, I mean, when I showed up to do the show, I'd never really acted in television really at all. I hadn't written television, and I was very humbled and excited to work with other people, so I had no real ego going into it. I just wanted to show up and be a version of me that lives on TV. And, every take and every time that there was emotions, and also with the podcast, I just tried to be as available as possible, like I am on the mic. And I think it worked out for the most part. I think it came off very genuine because I was just being myself. Some heightened version of me. I was the scripted self.
Speaking of that, do you ever have on-set changes to lines? I mean, you're
absolutely.
Something that doesn't feel natural to you.
Because the writing was all fairly collective process. TV writing. We all go over the stories, we go over the outlines, we go write our scripts, we come back, we go over them, we go over the notes. So there wasn't really anything that came out of my mouth I didn't want to. But there was one episode that when we were in it the day of, it hasn't been on yet, where I just felt like some scene just wasn't right, and we actually had to kind of rework it that morning. But yeah, that happened a bit. But it was all very collaborative, and it worked out.
Excellent. Well, with all of the heightened emotions, especially with your father, and also with your ex-wife's father in the hospital. That was an incredible scene, by the way. One of my favorite out of all 7 so far. Just it hit me.
Yeah, I felt that when I did that. It was kind of heavy.
Yeah. Well, with the parents thing especially, what was the deal with casting your parents? Did you refer to your own parents, asking them what they thought would be a good casting?
I really kept them out of the loop entirely. Sure. Well, we looked at a lot of people. It's funny how many actors that you sort of grew up watching are around and might do the job, and then it came up to the wire. And, we reached out to Judd Hirsch, and he looks a lot like my real dad. But I was always concerned about, because Judd Hirsch doesn't seem to have that angry an edge, but when we got him, it was kind of a funny story because, he's very adorable. Judd Hirsch is like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, my dad's kind of a nutbag, and he's a little aggravated. And sure enough, Judd gets to the set, and he starts doing Judd. He's like, oh, what are you? And I remember Bobby, Goldthwait, and the writers were like, oh, no, he's doing it. He's being cute. He's not being angry Jew. We need angry Jew. And so we're all watching him. I'm like, well, go tell him he's an actor. And they told him that, my dad's a little nuts, a little bipolar, and he just made a mild adjustment, and you can kind of feel the menace of it. I mean, he's a pretty amazing actor.
Well, he had a great scene in Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip at the very beginning of that series that sort of reminded me a little bit of the performance in your show.
He can do it.
He's got it in him.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And he really showed up. It was great. I don't know how my dad felt about it. He's not really speaking to me right now, but
fair enough.
Well, yeah, maybe he got jealous.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe, that guy's better
he seems like a better dad than
me. Speaking of casting, Dennis Leary is part of your executive producer team. Did he ever think?
It was tough to get him.
Yeah, exactly. Did he ever think about recasting the part of Marc Maron?
No. I'm just glad he was able to play the part of Dennis Leary.
Absolutely.
No, he was always very supportive throughout the process. Yeah. And it's weird because he's never done the real podcast.
Okay.
So I had him, he played himself on the show and on the fake podcast. Now I got to figure out if I can get him on the real podcast somehow. He was great, though. It was great working with him.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to talk to you for a full podcast length, but.
I can't stand for that one.
No, of course not. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Nice meeting you.
Talking
Thanks
to
a lot, guys.
Wonderful
Thanks
show.
for the parking help.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like, and if you want to see more videos like this, click subscribe. If you need me, I'll be in my garage interviewing my cats. Thank you. Boomer! Boomer!